Welcome to Just BeWare. Thoughts, sounds, mindset of Justin.
Um, what would you like to discuss?
We're going to talk about the X-Files.
Okay. What particularly are you?
Your thoughts on it?
Well, I don't know. I enjoy the show. I got hooked on it a while ago. Watched the entire thing on Netflix, and then
You're talking about the original series?
well, this is still like it's still the same thing. They just pick it up.
Oh, you're
where they
talking
left
about the
off.
six episode series, the new one.
Well, the new one is basically it's a continuation of the old one.
Okay.
So, no, it's I well once like I used to stay up to like when I used to stay up a lot. It would pop a few episodes here and there on Sci-Fi, and I'd watch them, and then I really got hooked into it when I got Netflix, and I binged the entire 9 seasons of it.
How long did it take you?
I don't know, about a week or so to go through all the episodes. And I really got hooked into it. Mostly because I knew it was all nonsense in my eyes, but in that world, it was all true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was some conspiracy, government trying to cover things up, and stuff like that. It was really fun. It was really interesting, and another reason I really watched it is because the show took place during the '90s, and I like to watch shows that seem really interesting during that time period, because it brings me back, makes me feel young again. You know,
And how old are you
that
now?
era. 23, going on 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I even watched another show. It was late '90s, but still interesting. But yeah, the X-Files thing was fun, and then as I remember, I also had before I watched the TV show, I had seen the 2000, I think it was 2008 movie they had, X-Files, I Want to Believe.
They came out with a movie in theaters?
Yeah. Well, they did twice beforehand.
Okay.
Throughout the show, when I was watching it, there was some behind-the-scene episodes where they were talking about the movie that they were making for the show. Because there was some seasons where it ended, the movie would pick up where the show ended, and if you started the new season without watching the movie, you would be a little lost.
Okay.
Without watching the movie, like there's some things, important things that happen during the movie that they don't necessarily fully like explain. I think they do, but for me, it was kind of like I started watching, and then it was just like they were talking about stuff, and I was like, wait, what happened? Wait, do I have to watch the movie?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got confused, so I went online and watched the movie to get myself reacquainted with what was going on. And it's funny because the show is David Duchovny.
That's the guy from Californication?
Well, if that's where you recognize him from, yes. But his most iconic role will always be Fox Mulder, the FBI agent running the X-Files. But so there's David Duchovny, he plays Fox Mulder, and there's Gillian Anderson. She plays Dana Scully. She was also most notably, if you ever seen the Hannibal TV show, she was on there, and she
Like recently?
yeah, she was on the show. She was actually dating Hannibal. Not the actress, but the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I found some things out during the shows. She when they were trying to do scenes, sometimes if she started laughing, she just couldn't stop. They couldn't get her to stop. She had what they call a serious case of the giggles throughout, making the show. And there was a time where they had to do some improvising because she had got pregnant
During this show?
during the show.
The new season.
Not the new season, the original show, like the original 9 seasons. She had got pregnant and stuff like that. So they had to do something where she ended up getting, because that wasn't originally part of the story. Like they put it into story like she got abducted and then she was missing for what only was like technically 1 episode to us, but you know, over the span, because I guess they took a break
because she was pregnant.
When the show was like going on, when the show was going on, you know how they do like a mid-season finale type thingy, you know what I mean? And then they cut off, and then there's a few months go by, and then they started back up again and then finished off the season. I guess something like that happened, but yeah, because literally, like if you watch all the episodes now on Netflix, it'd be like 1 episode here, she gets abducted, and then it's like 1 to 2 episodes later, she comes right back.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember they were talking about that. It's kind of funny.
So did you finish the episode of the new series?
Well, yeah, I watched it yesterday. It was like.
So what were your thoughts on it?
Well,
this is all your opinion.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like gather my thoughts. I'm still a little tired, but it was interesting, and then through and through, like if it started to when it started getting like, you know, further to the end of the episode, it started to really feel like the old X-Files again, you know. You know, Dana's always questioning Mulder, like, why do you need to do this? You don't have to, like, you know, she's always been the logical person in the relationship. She's like the, you know, science and all that stuff, like what she can prove for without a doubt kind of person. And Mulder's the guy, he doesn't necessarily believe, but it's the thing that he wants to believe. It's not that he does believe, he wants to believe that there's more out there, you know?
Okay.
And what really drove him, if you watch the first 9 seasons, is that while he was a child, his younger sister went missing in a flash of light, and he pursued that for many years, which drove him to the FBI, and then eventually running the X-Files. And Dana, also known as actress Gillian Anderson, she was placed in there at first to debunk any of his findings, you know what I mean? Anything he thought was like this way, she would be there to debunk it, pretty much. She didn't know herself, but that's why they put her there, because they know how she is. She likes to prove things, without a doubt, that this is that or that is this, and stuff like that, you know. So, for over the course, you know, she had her faith tested and all that, and things happened to her, and she was still struggling. And for a while, there's a season or 2 where even though she sat there and then aliens were right in front of her face, she still acted like she didn't believe. I was like, are you kidding me? What is your deal, woman? I got so upset. Like, you just sat there face to face, like you went through everything. Like, I remember one of the movies, I don't know if it was the first or the second one, she was on an alien spaceship, and Mulder went to go get her and get her out of it, and then this huge giant spaceship just lifts up and flies away, and then she acts like nothing happened, like she didn't remember nothing or she didn't see anything.
Wow.
I'm like, it was kind of like frustrating. Like, I guess it was more like, if you think about it this way, it was more her, like, if she accepts this reality, it'll like, you know, crash her whole world type of thing. You know what I mean? Like when somebody's so stubborn because they refuse to hear the truth, because the truth is much more terrifying than the world they live in, and it'll just shatter their reality, and they might not be able to function. You know what I mean? Or
so they'd rather stay in that world, yeah.
Yeah, they rather have that ignorance than, you know, to believe in certain things. So, you know, if you think about it like that, then you can understand why she was so reluctant to like just go gung ho with him.
Mm-hmm.
But later on throughout the season, it didn't seem like they were, but I don't know. They always seem better as friends than lovers. There was like kind of a thing that they didn't really show on screen, but I guess they developed some sort of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The characters and the child she was impregnated with when she was abducted. They went through this whole thing where they went to send him away so that they wouldn't so the people lurking in the shadows wouldn't take the child and stuff like that, so they got rid of it for its own safety.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. So it was kind of really hard for them, and it really hurt their relationship with each other. They did what they thought was best.
So are they a couple on the show?
Yes and no. It's kind of like they are, but they aren't. I mean, well, they are, okay, but not in the beginning. They kind of become like a couple. You see them kiss like once or twice, but it's not like the show is about their relationship. It's more about like their mutual relationship. Them being partners, working for the FBI, stuff like that. So any man and woman type relationship was kind of like set to the side, and it wasn't really 100% like put out in the front there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they wanted the show to be more about the X-Files and all that stuff. So
Okay.
but during the one of the show closed out late 2001, early 2002. It ended around there because this is my experience. This is what I think what happens, because this show seemed kind of very anti-government in a way, if you take it that way. And I guess, and then when 9/11 happened, I guess you couldn't really have any anti-government type of stuff going on, because everybody wants to love the government and have them protect you and stuff like that. So people don't try to blow us up again and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of talked a little bit on the new 6-episode thing. Like the first episode, they talked about it a little bit. How now after 9/11, everybody's trading in their privacy for security, stuff like that.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's difficult to say, because you can say you're either pro security or pro freedom, but I mean, I don't really believe in any true freedom, because some people abuse it a lot, and it makes it hard for people who are generally out there not trying to abuse things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our freedoms get abused, so that's why we add security, but then the security takes away our privacy.
And that's what they're putting on the X-Files. So
Well, not necessarily. It was a small bit.
Yeah,
but
they were referencing that, is what you were saying.
Yeah, it was a bit of a reference.
Okay.
Everybody became paranoid after 9/11, and now
So do they show any aliens on this episode?
Yeah, they show an alien, but it's not like presently. Like they're explaining throughout the episode how they've been fed lies to, because the whole time they were believing that aliens were the ones responsible, trying to take over the world, like they were.
Yeah. Well, this is X-Files preview.